Good evening, everybody, and happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. I think it's Wednesday. Gosh, it's been forever since I've been live, it seems like. I don't even know what day it is. It's been so long. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. Welcome to my live this evening, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. If you wouldn't mind, when you hop on, say hi in the comments and let me know where you are watching from. That way I can say hi to you. I want to let you know that I am using an online platform called StreamYard. So I am live in 3 places this evening. I'm live on my Facebook business page at Robin's Egg Blue Creations. I'm live in my private group, the Robin's Egg Blue Creations Crafty Collab. And I'm also live on my YouTube channel with the same name. And I tell you that because if you hear me refer to a comment that you don't see in your feed, that viewer may be commenting and watching from a different platform. So I just don't want you to be confused. So again, say hi in the comments. Also, if you're watching on my Facebook group, make sure you give StreamYard permission to access your name. Otherwise, you show up in my comments as a Facebook user, and I don't know who to say hi to. I see that Jason is watching from the other side of the door. And my father-in-law, Chris, is also watching. Hello. Gosh, I'm kind of out of practice. I haven't been here in forever. Sorry I was late. I was actually on a Zoom costume party with one of my door hanger creative groups. So I hung out there a little longer than I should have. But I am here now. So we're going to be using doing 2 different projects this evening using Couture products. This is a Couture reusable silk screen transfer. It is a size B, 8.5 by 11, and these are reusable silk screen transfers. They are reusable about 8 to 12 times, depending on how well you take care of them. I see that Bonita is on. Hello, Bonita. So because they are reusable, I want to write the name of this transfer on the back. And if you have ever seen a Couture transfer, the name is always listed down here. So this is called Christmas Tree Cutting Board Sentiment. So we'll just put Christmas tree because I'm not writing all that out. So I'm writing the name of the transfer on the back because it's reusable. Once I clean it, I know that this transfer belongs on this backer sheet and that this is indeed the back of the transfer sheet because it only goes on one side. You'll also know that this transfer has these white lines. These are cut lines. So you can either cut your transfer apart in different pieces, including the backer sheet. But I like to keep my backer sheet intact. So I'm just going to roll up the edge of this transfer, and I'm going to slip my transfer trimmers underneath, and I'm just going to score down those cut lines. That way my transfer is still in pieces, but my backer sheet is completely intact. Just less loose parts when you're cleaning up and when you're trying to put stuff back on backer sheets. And you can use regular scissors. These are transfer trimmers. They have a non-stick coating, so they don't stick to the sticky back of the transfers. So one of the transfers that we're going to be using is this cute little decorative cutting board, and I emphasize the word decorative. It is a 9.5-inch tree, and it is sized perfectly for this pattern. But then we're also going to use a separate surface so that I can show you how you can use this transfer without getting the cutting board if you so choose. Because this is a wood surface and this is a sticky back transfer, I am going to use some surface wax so that one, it will get into some of the uneven portions of this wood, and it will kind of fill in some of those uneven portions so that my paste doesn't bleed as much. And 2, it will act as a barrier between my raw surface and my transfer so that when I pull up my sticky transfer, I'm not pulling up pieces of the raw wood with my transfer. So I'm just buffing this in with just an old t-shirt. And I don't necessarily have to do the handle, but it does kind of seal in the wood as well. Make sure I don't have any hanging off the side. And you can do this tree two-sided. When they do that, actually. Let's go ahead and wax the other side, because these words, we can do something with the words. I haven't thought of that till just now, but so how was everyone's weekend? Did you all have a good weekend? We were at the race at the Kansas Speedway this weekend. We were at 2 races, and it was such a fun time. We got to spend it together as a family and watch cars go round and round and round and round. But it was a lot of fun. If you ever get a chance to go to a NASCAR race, do it. It's a lot of fun. Okay, put that away. I'm also going to grab a towel, and I'm using the Fuzz Cloth, but you could use an ordinary terry cloth towel. And because I've never used this transfer before, it's going to be uber sticky. So I'm just going to fuzz it. So I'm going to put a layer of lint on the back, which is also going to act as a barrier, so that my transfer doesn't stick so hard to the surface of this tree that it pulls or tears when I take it off. Hey Ashley, how are you doing? So I'm just going to fuzz it one more time. And so I'm going to lay it on here. I'm just lining it up as best as I can. But it is made perfectly for this cutting board. Also, I had my fan on earlier. I was hot. You can probably hear it too. It will dry out my chalk paste if I leave it on. I think that. So there is a bit of a lip down here, which is okay. So I'm going to smooth it out. Make sure it's really good and adhered. Especially around these words. And it says, I'll be home for Christmas. And I think I'm going to use Shimmer Spruce. I'm going to grab a couple of squeegees. So if you like glitter, but you don't like a mess, these shimmer pastes are right up your alley because the glitter is contained. And it is just a liquid chalk. It dries it dries hard, but it is water soluble on most surfaces. On wood, you would have to sand it off, but on glass, chalkboards, metal, most metals, it may stain metal, but on most of those surfaces, you can wash your design off and redesign on that same surface. So I'm just taking my chalk paste that is on my squeegee, and I'm just gently dragging it down where my silk screen is. May have gotten too big of a squeegee. I'm trying to teach myself to have a lighter hand. So I'm trying to apply just gentle pressure and not press so hard that it runs underneath the silk screen. Ashley says you're not feeling the greatest. You have a cold. Oh, that's a bummer. I'm doing okay. Just kind of tired from the weekend, but I hope you get to feeling better soon. So far I've been able to stay away from most of all the bugs and viruses. But I think you're around kids a lot, so that might be why. I just work in an office of 2, so I'm pretty isolated from all that. So I'm just continuing to drag this down, just trying to get some of that chalk paste off the back of my squeegee. And now I'm just kind of smoothing out my squeegee lines. I don't want those to show when they dry, so I'm just going to put the excess back in my jar. There wasn't much. And I'm going to get a wipe. Oops, they're over here. I'm going to clean this as I go. So I have a little less cleanup to do at the end. Okay. Okie doke. So I'm going to pull this off and then we will clean it because I want to clean it for my next project. So there you go. I probably could have pulled it down a little bit, but I kind of like it like that. I like that the bottom, I actually got it fairly equal. So equal amounts of the cutting board are showing. I'm going to put this to the side and I'm going to show you how to wash this transfer. I have a bucket of water over here and I'm just going to put my transfer in the water. You can also just use running water, but because I'm not right at my sink, I'm just using the bucket and I'm just kind of scrubbing it on the bottom just to get some of that paste off. And I'm going to grab my towel from over here. Get some more of that off. And I probably don't have a board eraser. To grab a new one. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on my towel. And I'm going to grab a board eraser. Sorry. I happen to have some right up here. So these are board erasers. They come in a package of 2. And I'm just going to get this one wet. And so I'm just going to take the board eraser and I'm going to wipe it gently down the front of the transfer. And that gets most of the paste off. And I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to grab a disinfecting wipe. I don't want to use the same wipes that I use on my hands because baby wipes sometimes have lotion in them. And I don't want that on the back of my transfer. So I'm just taking this disinfectant wipe and I am washing it off. And I'm going to stick this transfer in the microfiber side of my fuzzing cloth. And that'll help dry it a little quicker. Put the towel away. So now we can pull this back out and we can dry it. Ashley says you love the board erasers. They work wonders. Yes, they are wonderful for cleaning the transfers. I know they were intended for the boards, but they work great for the transfers. I would say anytime you place an order, you should always add at least 1 package of board erasers, just because they're always nice to have on hand. because I used the shimmers, it is going to take a little longer for this to dry. So I'm actually, instead of flipping it over and doing the back side, I think we'll move on to our second project, but we'll come back and we'll finish the back side of this. I'll just kind of let it hang out over here naturally. That way I don't have to, you don't have to listen to the dryer all the time. So I went ahead and off camera, I painted this with chalk paint, and I've already waxed it so it's ready to go. That way you don't have to watch me wax more than one surface. I think you got the point. So this transfer is already dry. It's been hanging out just in the microfiber portion of my fuzz towel. So I'm going to fuzz it several times because I am putting it on painted wood. Maybe one more time. And so this is just a found surface. Oops. And I'm going to put it off to the side because we're going to add, not that far off, we're going to add some embellishing to the side. So I'm just going to adhere it, make sure it's stuck down good. I did put a cart link, shopping cart link in the description of the video. I think we are, when I checked earlier, we are currently out of white and we're out of Shimmer Frost, but I'm going to go ahead and use, and we're out of Shimmer Silver because I was going to add Shimmer Silver to Bright White and make my own frost, but all three are sold out currently. But I'm going to go ahead and use one of those white colors. So I'm just adhering this down really well. Making sure the tip of my tree was still on my board. I think I'm going to stick with the shimmers tonight. So this is Shimmer Frost. The camera doesn't pick it up really well, but it does have a lot of sparkle in it. So I'm going to use that same squeegee. So I'm just going to pick some paste up with my squeegee. And then I'm just going to drag it down the silk screen area. Make sure I get that tip top of that tree. Get all that paste off the back of my tray, off the back of my squeegee. I'm just going to even out all of my squeegee lines. I'm also going to make sure, sometimes this shimmer kind of soaks in and it ends up more transparent and it's kind of see-through. I'm just going to make sure I have it good and covered. In fact, I might go ahead and put on a second layer just because I have a little bit more working time. So I'm going to put the excess back in my jar. Okay. Wipe my squeegee off just for less, so I have less cleaning to do later. It's easier to clean up when it's wet. Put both of those away. Okay, so let's pull this off. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Sure makes it easy. If you're kind of an indecisive crafter, like a blank canvas scares it just scares you to death. That's why Chalk Couture is so great. The transfers, you can use them as is. You can mix them and match them. It kind of makes the decision-making process of a craft project. It makes it easy. It makes it surmountable. If you don't have a lot of time, Chalk Couture makes it easy to get quick, easy, simple steps, craft projects done. This wood piece, yeah, it's just a wood plaque. I painted it with chalk paint earlier today. I've been taking some projects to work and painting them on my lunch break. And so I painted it when I was on my lunch break today. But yeah, I just used black paint. Ooh, this one is sparkly now. Shimmer Frost has a lot of sparkle in it. I didn't notice it so much with the spruce, but whew, this white is sparkly. Okay, so now that I have this, I'm going to go back and see if I can get some of that sparkle off the front. Now that this is clean, I'm just going to pop it back on the backer sheet. That way I don't forget to do that later, because I'm notorious for leaving my transfers drying sticky side up for a night, a week. So it's ready to go. So let's put this stuff away. We're not quite done with the transfer, but I do want to put it out of my way for right now. So we'll go ahead and we'll get this dry. Let's see a boo-boo. I don't know if you can see this, but the S, oops, if I can go the right way, has a tiny smear in the little loop-de-loo. It's not hard to see, but I can see it. So I'm going to take the pointy end of the detail tool, and I'm just going to scrape that excess paste away. It's not perfect, but okay, so now we can dry this. That's pretty dry. Okay. So now we'll do, I'm going to bring a towel over and flip that over so that my healing mat doesn't scratch the backside. I think, because I forgot about these little garland pieces. So I did wax, remember I waxed both sides. So now I'm just going to fuzz this piece, literally this piece, because that's what it says. No pun intended. I think it'll go in the middle. And these words are supposed to kind of act as like a garland. And I think we'll do, I guess it doesn't matter, because they're both the same. I think we'll do piece here. Should have just left it where it was. I'm just going to rub the word down. And I'm going to use Shimmer Crimson. I don't know why that's still in there. I'm going to get a smaller squeegee out. And this little squeegee is just one of these squeegees cut in half. Okay. So I'm just going to dip my squeegee into the chalk paste, and I'm just going to drag this down. So that says piece. I'm not sticking it in the water, but I'm putting it on the edge of the bucket. We'll dry that one. And then we'll put, excuse me, we'll put cheer at the top. I'm just fuzzing it off camera here a little bit. So we'll put cheer right there. Okay, put it right there. I'll just get a little bit of chalk paste. We'll pull that off. And then we'll get Be Merry. We'll fuzz that one a couple times. Stick that right there. Sorry, I'm kind of quiet. Talk amongst yourselves. And there's Be Merry. Okay, so we'll dry this. Thanks. It'd be kind of cute to go in and add some little polka dots to act as like ornaments or lights, but I probably should have painted this side, but okay. So there is our cheer, peace, and be merry. I think it would look really cute if you painted this side of the tree, but I wasn't that ambitious. And then there's this I'll be home for Christmas. I didn't just stick my finger in there. Okay, so now we'll move on to the embellishing, and I want to sand the edges of this. So I'm going to snag my trash can. Got my trash can right here. Maybe wedge it. So I'm just going to take my little sander along the edges. Oops. There we go. And get those corners really well. Get down some of these, down some of the sides. There we go. My sanding is such a workout. Okay. For that. I can knock off some more of this side. Rough up some of these corners. Okay, and I'm wearing half of that. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Ashley. Ashley says, so simple and cute. Simple and easy crafting, it is. That's one of the biggest draws, I think, to Shop Couture. It just makes it so super easy. Okay, I think I got most of that dust off. So I've kind of roughed up all those edges. Just gives it a little bit. I even thought, I don't know if I should try to rough up some of that. I'll probably end up screwing it up. So I'll just keep it the way it is. So I'm going to add, I've got a bunch of ribbons out here. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way. Put that lid on before that ends up a disaster. So I've got, oh, that one won't work. Skull and crossbone is not. I pulled that out of my, so I've got some buffalo plaid. These I just pulled out of my scrap bin. I've got some black and white bandana. I have some of this waffle weave twine. I have another little piece. And then I have some other black and whites here that I pulled out. Also have just a skinny black, some white and silver. Ooh, I have some of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the kind of that twine wrap that I've been doing a lot lately. Sorry if you're getting bored with that, but I think it's super cute. So I'm just going to wind my twine 2 or 3 times. Try to get it. Oops, got it caught under that one. Come on, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to put it up that way. Grab some scissors. Sometimes I hate wearing glasses. They always fall down my face. Okay, so I'm going to tie a really tight knot. I don't know if that got very tight, but that's okay. Okay, and then we're just going to start adding ribbons. I also want to make a little bead dangle. So I'm going to cut these in half. I'll put those there. Cut this one in half. Oops, that didn't work out quite as I was anticipating. There. Okay, put those there. I think we'll add some of this in, this polka dot. And it's a wire, but I think it'll still work. Okay, let me get some of this white and silver, or maybe we should do some of this lace. This lace is really pretty. Fact. Let's put it in front. Yeah. Nope. Let's put it right here. I probably cut it a little long, but and then or should we do a dangle? Should we just do a messy bow, or should we add some, like a little beaded dangle? Oh, I forgot about this waffle stuff. I like that. That's cute. Okay, so we'll add that. Of course, it needs a good ironing. It's been shoved in my scrap bin a little too long. Okay, I think we're good on that. So what do you think? Dangle or no dangle? Guess we'll go ahead and make one. I'll tie a knot in an end of this thinner twine. It was just a scrap I had. Oop. No dangle, says Ashley. Yeah, I think you might be right. Okay, so I'm just going to take my other ends of my twine. I'm going to tie a really tight knot. And as I tie that knot, it's going to bunch all of that ribbon up. And then you can kind of move everything around a little bit. cut things off that might seem a little too long. I'm going to cut these off. And then you can kind of let that twine unravel. Yeah, messy bows are super easy. So then you just kind of move everything around, kind of pull this here and pull that there. Just to kind of get everything to where it shows a little bit. And you can kind of, if you don't pull it, sometimes you can pull ribbons through if they're kind of uneven. Kind of got to even some of this out a little bit. There. Kind of a rustic little piece. So there's that. Pretty cute. I like it. I like it a lot. And with these wire ribbons, I kind of stick my finger underneath and kind of poof them out. I'm missing some of my buffalo plaid here. Need to bring it out a little bit. There's one. There. Now you can see the buffalo plaid a little better. And just keep fiddling with it. There. I like that one. Okay, so now we'll put that to the side. And I'm going to decorate. I'm just going to put a little bit of ribbon around the base of the tree. Oh, I was going to use baker's twine. Oops, I forgot. I think we'll use this. So I'm just going to wrap it around a few times. Let's leave this one out one more time. And then figure out what ribbons to use for this. So I have some green and red polka dot, which that might be too wide, but if I used smaller pieces, it would work. I have some red organza. I also have some shiny red here, which I could use. So I think if I cut these in half, it'll look better. This might be a bit much, but actually, go ahead and these scissors don't want to cut very well. I'm just cutting these at an angle. I find that if you cut, I know a lot of people like to dovetail, but when you have small bows like this, it just ends up looking like bat wings to me. Maybe it's the way that I cut a dovetail, but I just prefer the angle. Ooh, I'm going to have to turn my fan back on. How's everybody doing out there? There's those two. Sorry if you can hear this, but it's getting hot in here. I don't know. That matches. Maybe. Oh wait, here's some green organza too. Again, I just found these in my scrap pile. Okay, we'll go with these and see what we have. Okay, so I have, all my stuff's blowing all over. So I'm just kind of trying to pleat these in the middle if I can, mainly just because these are a little wider than the ones we were using earlier. So I'm just going to kind of crisscross them in my hand. And I think I'm just going to layer all of these on the bottom. Maybe. And just lay these on top. This might be a bit much. It's kind of hard to hold this tiny. I'll just try it this way. See if it works. I don't know if it will. I gotta turn that off or move it where it's not blowing directly on me. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Gotta do it in my hand. I think maybe we'll just try one layer. Sorry, just me troubleshooting to myself. It gets hard to hold on to. And pleats aren't very pretty. It's kind of more like just wadding it up. You probably couldn't even see any of that. Okay, so I'm just going to stick it down as best as I can. And pull my baker's twine up towards the middle. And try to smush all this down. That doesn't look very pretty. But it kind of hides the tree trunk, which is partly my purpose. I think if I were to have designed this, I would have put the handle at the top of the tree, just so that you can hang it. I don't know. Just kind of trying to cover that up. Okay, so now let's just kind of spread some of this out so that it's a little more full. I'm trying to figure out what happened to my red here. I think all three of my reds ended up on the same side. There. That was weird. Must have been the way I was holding it. Okay, well, you kind of get the point. Okay, not the prettiest, but it's functional. think I probably should have maybe cut them blunt, but it might look a little better. Kind of cute. Looks like just like a little poof. So there's that side. So I didn't decorate this side. I was mainly just showing you what the example would be, but I bet you could twist the bow around if you wanted it to be the other side. But there's our cute little Christmas tree. And I wanted to show you one designer had a really cute idea for displaying this. She put it in the back of she painted it white and then used probably candy apple for the transfer itself, but she put it in the back of a cute little rustic vintage truck, which I think is super cute. So it'd be a great way to display this little cutting board. So I thought I'd show you that. I think it turned out really cute. So that is my project for this evening. Trying to think, just wanted to again remind you that you have, I'm just looking for something here. You have, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more days to get the club transfer if you haven't already for October. It is the Grateful transfer. You get an 8.5 by 11 size B exclusive transfer. So the only way to get this transfer is to either be a club member or a designer. But as a club member, you get this and 3 paste singles mailed to you every month in a DIY subscription kit. It comes directly to your mailbox, free shipping for $19.99 a month. The paste singles this month are Camel, Papaya, and Shimmer Olive. You also get an instructional video and a printable PDF that tells you how to use each transfer. But you don't have to do it just exactly as is. You can think outside the box a little bit if you want. Also, as a club member, you get $4.95 flat rate shipping on any additional chalk site orders, and you also get specials and deals via Chalk Couture on a monthly basis. Speaking of deals, don't forget the Positive Vibes transfers are all 50% off this month for any customer, Club Couture or regular customers. You are eligible to purchase these at 50% off. So if you were a club member and you received a bounce back coupon of 25% off, you can indeed stack that 25% off on top of the 50% off, and that is quite the deal. So again, 5 more days to get that. And then a new Club Couture transfer comes out on November 1st, and it's super cute. I've already seen what it looks like. So join today. If you have any questions, holler at me, let me know. I have links for everything up in the comments. Just hit my Smart Bio link and it takes you to my Club Couture page, my customer shopping page. Yeah, Ashley, isn't that truck adorable? Makes me want to go out and buy a truck just so I can put my little Christmas tree in there. I have a ceramic truck from On the Pot that I haven't painted yet, but it's way too small for this little tree, so it wasn't going to work. Have a good night to you as well, Ashley. About what I was saying. Oh, well. I will be live again on Friday at 7:45 p.m. It will be a Friday giveaway night, so make sure you tune in so you can be eligible to win some Happy Mail. I will also be live on Saturday. Also, just mark your calendar for November 5th and 6th. If you are local to Salina, CJ's Marketplace will be having their Christmas open house, and all of the vendors will have their booths full of Christmas and gift-giving ideas. So make sure you check that out on the 5th and the 6th in Salina. But until then, have a great rest of your week, and I will see you on Friday. Have a great night.